Hey, this is Overpass Insights. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to talk about never-ending projects. Alright, so over the years on this channel I've talked a lot about creating your own applications, making your own revenue through your own applications, but also just making extra revenue through doing client work. So taking on somebody else's project and building their application for them, or their website, or their software, or whatever like that, right? And it's been, over the years, it's been pretty good for me. Just take on at one time, I think I had 10 clients at the same time, just several projects going on. And then, after a while, I started to scale back on that a little bit because client work, as I've talked about before, and a lot of people have pointed out to me over the years, can be really draining. And one of the biggest problems I've had over the years is what I call the never-ending project, right? This is a project that's, I'm not talking about like a recurring project that's like, every month you get paid and it just, it's like you're working a contract or something. I'm talking about a project which is fixed price. You agree on an upfront cost, usually is 50% for me, 50% upfront and 50% at the end. And that end never comes. And most of the time, actually pretty much all the time, it's not because of if I'm working with other developers or if I'm the developer myself. A lot of the times it's because you can't get the sign off from the client. This is usually where cold feet come in. They're just not ready to go live. They had a really big idea for an application and they're really excited about it, but when the time actually comes to put it live, that's when scope creep happens, or that's when, ooh, we just want to test it a little bit more, or, ooh, you know what, I showed it to a few other people and I think we need to change this, this, and this. And it's just like pushing that further and further back. Now, sometimes I will just say, okay, that's fine, but it's going to have to be additional cost, and I'm going to have to invoice you now because your cash flow, like you're still, you're running your own business, you've got other people to pay, you still need to have that cash flow coming in. And if you can't predict when this project's going to be done, even based on the timescales that you set out in the beginning, okay, right, we're going to spend whatever, 4 weeks doing the development, you spend 2 weeks testing, we spend another 2 weeks doing anything you find in that testing, and then we release the app, becomes testing. It becomes this cycle that just keeps going again and again. Now I've had clients that have been businesses that continue to bring out new requirements and continue to bring out scope creep, or their developers, say, oh, we got this new API, or, that wasn't working as well as we do. We need to do something else. And it just keeps going and going and going and going, which is like really, really frustrating. And sometimes it's like an individual, like I said, they just got cold feet. And they're not ready psychologically to go live. Like all the stuff that they were going to do, that they knew they had to do, like, are you ready to start advertising? Are you ready to start pushing this out there? Are you ready to start getting ready for those users coming in? And they're just not. They were, but then it's like, there's something else there. Like sometimes you have to, through the course of a conversation, you realize there's something else. They're trying to put it on, we need more time for testing, or we need more, we need more of this, or we need to check this out, or let me just research something else, or a competitor showed up that's, doing a similar thing. And sometimes you're just like, we need to put this live. First of all, I need to put it live because, need to be paid because, that's what, that's the agreement. But also because you're not going to know anything about the application until you actually get real users using it, right? You have to get it in front of some real people, and then, you start to they start to second guess what their users will start thinking, even though every idea they had at the beginning on day one was a good idea, but they've just gotten used to that idea. They've gotten used to it, and they're saying like, you know what, after all, I don't think that was such a great idea. It's like, no, imagine hearing it for the first time. And 3 months ago, 6 months ago, whatever, it was a great idea. It's still a great idea now. It's just you've gotten used to it and you need to put this live. This is the reason I bring this up is because it happens so often that you get this project that you just can't seem to get done. And you diplomatically, there's been times where we've got into heated arguments with clients about this guy. So there's times where I've just been like, just trying to, there's been times where I've just totally simped out and been like, oh, however many meetings you guys need, I'll have as many meetings as they want, as many iterations as they want, and then in the end it's just like this animosity because this project became like was so over budget that I'm absorbing the cost of. So it's one of those things when you take on a client to think about from the beginning. And that's one of the biggest reasons your specification has to be watertight. When you write your specification of what you're going to do, it's going to be what we're going to do and what's not included in this. And you have to specify if there's something that was mentioned in a meeting and you said, is this possible? You said, yeah, that we could do that. If it's not in the specification, that was not an agreement. That was a blue sky thinking thing. That gets me again. So I just wanted to bring this up. Some of you guys do work with clients and you probably know what this is like. It's something that it's over the years it has made me a lot more cautious about any new clients that I take on. Like, it's that vetting process and that gut feel. And there's sometimes where I'm thinking, okay, this will really work out, and it doesn't. And it's times where like you just have to insist, we need to go live. We need to get this in front of people. Like, if you found a bug, you need to tell me how to reproduce it. If you found something in your testing that's not working the way that it should, show me the documentation where it said otherwise, or whatever, and we need to get this live. But something to look out for is something just again and again and again. And sometimes you just need a nudge, like, hey, how's that testing going? Hey, we're still waiting for your sign off on this. Hey, we're ready to put this live. And sometimes you just need that too. So anyway, hope that's useful for those guys who, but ideally do your own application. That way, you don't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. So, but while you're doing your own application, get a bit more extra revenue by bringing those clients in. Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and I'll talk to you again